morning, everyone. Welcome to the Girl Get Up podcast, where I share my stories. I bring my guests on, they share their stories, all in hopes that it inspires you, the listening audience, to go out and discover your infinite possibilities. Today we have a guest, Miss Karrie Klimas. Welcome, Miss Karrie. Could you please share with the audience who you are and what you do?
Well, thank you first and foremost for having me. So yes, I'm Karrie Klimas. I'm actually home based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, native Broward County Floridian, and I'm a leadership coach and consultant.
Before we get into actually what it is that you do, a little bit of background. How did you get into coaching leadership? What brought you there?
Well, good question. It's always nice to be asked that question. So how did I get where I'm at if I didn't go through a certain path or experience to get here? Well, first and foremost, I'll say that I was in the corporate world about 18 years and was bored. So back in 2004, I had four jobs, two kind of a corporate full-time, a part-time, and then two other side gigs on the side. And in 2009, 5 years, 5 years from 2004, because in 2004 I actually got my house and all that stuff looked good on paper. So fast forward to 2009, I just had my corporate job, but I also had a part-time career with a company called Party Light, which is a home-based business, kind of similar to Mary Kay, but instead of selling makeup, I'm doing home-based parties on candles and home decor. Well, the corporate world let me go, but I was actually discussing with a couple of ladies in the corporate world that we also wanted to get out of it. And so I got myself fired and got an employment for a year and a half and started networking and meeting people. I met a gentleman at a networking event and he helped me co-create my first business called Gift Problem Solver. So I'm currently on my third GPS company. And I tell people, if we're not sitting down in front of people and willingness to listen and learn and grab their idea, nothing's going to happen. So I'm grateful to help me co-found my company, and taking it a step further into coaching. I used to go to seminars and conferences like many people. You want to learn and grow. And after school's over, we don't usually have that kind of structure anymore. How do we learn and grow if we're not usually around those kind of people? But I wanted to be more successful. I wanted to have more words that can empower people to move forward. And the universe brought me a coach 10 years ago. So I'm currently still with them, my coach, and let's say my discovery team it's called Self-Discovery Life Mastery, which is right here in Fort Lauderdale. So because of my willingness to get out of my own way and the coach inspiring me to say, do you want to keep being a candle lady? And I said, no, but she's like, well, what if I could teach you a way to focus your attention on creating a business that aligned with your skills and abilities? I guess you could say being an executive assistant, whose time did I take care of? I was good on time management, organization, meeting people, asking questions. Well, I thought that was normal.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I have my own coach and, being able to help guide me. And I trained in communication skills as well with a workshop and supported people with their vision, mission, and goals. And being able, we parted ways in September of 21. I took about a month off and I said, all right, I'm going to create my next business. And here we are today, almost 3 years later, really focusing on, how I like to give my time to people and my patience to others who, visionary leaders who want to keep growing, and themselves and their business like I did.
Yeah. You said that you spent a lot of time in the corporate world. Did you realize, and you just kind of touched on it a little bit, but those skills that you learned in the corporate world, you were able to transform or take those skills and create a business around that. Could you talk about what some of those skills were, some of the positions that you held that kind of put you in that leadership mindset?
Sure. When I got out of high school, I have a degree in human resources, but I was more likely back then, I was afraid of authority. So I didn't like to be wrong or feel embarrassed or feel stupid, as many of us do. So again, I'm with you on that one. But I guess when I get in corporate, I'm as willing to appreciate authority. I mean, I aligned with authority. I'm not here to be wrong or make somebody upset. And, so I'd be a good student. I was always a good student, willing to learn, and because I wouldn't want to get into trouble. I wanted to play by the rules in the game and do what felt was right. But I would say because my parents are really well organized, my parents are very sociable. So I'm very grateful that those skills came from them. It just happened to transpire and take place in the corporate world because I felt I went from an administrative assistant who took care of a team, but I made more money by
Mhm.
working with one person and managing their time and their calendar. So I thought, well, this is much more easier. One person is much more effective and getting more money. I'll take that. So that's kind
Right.
of being executive assistant.
Okay. So what did you learn as far as leadership is concerned? What skills did you learn? Like collaboration, how to effectively collaborate, how to effectively communicate, writing skills, and those types of things?
Well, leading a communications workshop. So there's one point right there, co-leading. My business partner for 6 months had to practice, we train people on how to pay more attention. So why do we want to
Mhm.
pay more attention to people? Why do we want to ask questions? Why do we want to be interested in people? So the founder of self-discovery worked with her and I for 6 months. And if we didn't understand the value, how can we transmit the value into others and helping them source themselves into the skills, I could say, a leader, what are the qualities of a good leader? Willingness, open, friendly. I mean, even look at the word professionalism. It's part of
Mhm.
having leaders get willing to hear and listen to what other people have to say, want to create a win-win, assert the win, assert that you're getting everybody on board. You want people to feel that they're heard and, you value them and you value yourself as too, because you want to be able to know the qualities of being honest and real and respectful, worth
Mhm.
ethnic, being reliable, integrity, and to take initiative. So these are things that we can learn how to take, what's the value of it? What does it mean? And how do I become more? I work with people who are already,
Right.
in a sense, already leaders in their own way, but being able to
Mhm.
be it better. Because I believe, myself, being in business, great today, taken on, becoming an entrepreneur. But again, we're not having a school about it or, having mentors around us to all the time to show us how to do it as effectively as we could. A lot of times
Mhm.
people get caught in the chaos of the day-to-day stuff, but are they really taking the time to sit down and really reflect what is going well, who's doing well, who's not doing well, where can there be changes and where do they not, maybe they do or don't have a confidential sounding board like myself that could reflect, what is going well, what could be better, and sharing the truth because I'm not attached to the business or their personal life because they work on their personal life too.
Yeah.
The
So
work-life
wait a
balance.
minute. Well, yeah, that's a challenge. But you just said something. So let me ask you this. What defines a leader?
Well,
Is
somebody
that
who,
something that we define for ourselves, or is there like a character that you have to become to step into that place? Does that make
well,
sense?
yes, I will say that sometimes we would ask people in our communications workshop, who do you feel is a good leader? What are those qualities? Let's just say Steve Jobs, people who have changed the world, Elon Musk. What are the qualities about them? You might not like them, but what is it
Mhm.
about them that got to where they're at? Are they persistent? Are they driven? What are they willing to do in order to get there? So taking on and owning, knowing how to own those qualities. So I had to learn to understand how to own that quality. I'm leader. I'm defining. I'm persistent. I'm determined to be the best leader I can be. Whatever I am to be in the leader I am today, and how can I keep being better at that?
Okay. All right.
Each
So,
person has their own defiance, but taking qualities you like in other people and how to learn how to embody, take full ownership of those qualities, if that's something they want to have those qualities.
yeah. So let's talk about your program. What is your ideal client? And let's talk about how you walk them through. You don't have to tell everything because this is your secret sauce, but how you walk them through that process of stepping from corporate into owning or acting in a leadership capacity, maybe elsewhere or under their own business.
Sure. I mean, one of the things that I'll just break it down a little bit and then I'll share more about one. So I do offer one-on-one leadership coaching, leadership development and performance consulting services for the team. I host interactive in-person and virtual workshops like a networking skills workshop, goal setting workshop. I also host complimentary webinar on managing time, virtual networking. I can teach people Calendly, Canva, Word, Excel. YouTube channel. So anything I've created and I've mastered and love and enjoy that I use today is something I can teach people. So that is a skill, so people can have a tangible outcome. So going back to the first, part of the question is one-on-one leadership coaching. So I call it a growth roadmap to success, 5-step action plan. So we got a lot of information in here, but it's not written on paper as in specific, realistic, and timely. So say, for example, how many ideal clients do you want? Well, what does it mean, an ideal client? I don't know. Let's figure what that means to you. Let's define
Right.
that. Where are they? How much time do you want to spend on them? How many do you want? Is there a big fish and a middle fish? Is there, maybe in your personal life, where would you like to spend more quality time with the people you love, or, exercise, mental, physical? How about things that need to be done in the house and haven't been done yet? So maybe they might go, oh, I like to a client of mine. Oh, I want to clean out my garage so I can make it my office. It's so great. So how soon would you like to make that happen? Well, how much
Right.
time do you want to spend on it? I want to spend 2 hours this Sunday, this Saturday, and next Saturday. Okay, great. Write that down. So being able to get specific about it, that's step one,
Mhm.
defining what each thing, person, maybe their ideal income, where they want to spend their time. Do they want to delegate? Is there some things, are they having meetings with the team? Have they even checked at the team lately, reviewed them? Have they had a client appreciation, a customer
Mhm.
appreciation, team appreciation? So how's the culture? The culture is ideal as they like it to be. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I'm like
Right.
a doctor, a lawyer.
Mhm.
At the restaurant, I can't help you get it if I don't know what you're looking for, and helping to
Right.
be more
Right.
specific and realistic with that. So that's
Yeah.
like step one. Step two is being able to have a personal assessment, one on communication or time management, professionalism, or business and team. And so the assessment has poor, fair, good, very good, and great. Now,
Mhm.
we don't know where we're at, so I trust they're going to have some good places that they feel good about it. Great. Well, there's some areas I'm probably sure you're going to be honest with yourself and put down poor or fair or good. Well, would you like to have some kind of plan that's going to help you get to make that very good? Great. Well,
Mhm.
let's define that and what that means to you. And then they have an article called Communication is a Two-Way Street. Often we are
Mhm.
talking at people versus with people. So we explore an understanding what the difference is talking at versus with, and what they prefer, they like. And then I teach a powerful growth mindset exercise to feel more relaxed, grounded, and confident. And then step
Mhm.
five is actually, we wrap it up by the activities on their list. And number one is actually putting it on their calendar. If they do not have a Google Calendar, we will download it right then and there, and I will teach you how to use it.
Yeah. If
So
it's
it
not
could
on
be
the
very,
calendar, it didn't happen.
right. Well, I mean, that's the point of having one, or even if it's a physical paper, I have it so they can start blocking off time and start writing these things down, because, often we talk a lot of crap, but it's not actually happening. You have
Yeah.
a
No,
list.
that's a fact. No, that's serious. But you know what? That brings me to my point because, like in my program, I talk about time maximization, and I have like this sample calendar for clients to go in and really map out what are you doing with your time? And of course, this is in reference to job searching and stuff like that, because that is a job within itself. It takes a lot of time. So then that said, what do you think of working with your clients? What do you think that when they realize how much time that is being wasted, what has been the feedback from that exercise that you do with them, and then them reading and actually seeing it on paper and be like, oh my God.
Well, I mean, everything in life is a practice, but again, this is being able to turn into a habit, because my coaching packages are, 6 sessions, 9 sessions, or 9 months, or even a year. But at the end of
Mhm.
the day, if they want to practice and they really want something, yes, they're going to get awarenesses. And one of my clients, I do recall her very well, and she goes, I realize I write a lot of stuff down. I said, yeah. She's like, I realize I'm the biggest idiot. I said, well, good job. Like, I say
Right.
a lot. I said, well, that's what we do. I mean, I'm not making it wrong. It's just what we do. Question is, now you got some kind of guidance to help you get that time back. Because some people might say they don't want to waste time. I go, well, you probably are, and you just don't even know it, and you're
Yeah.
not knowing where you're wasting it. Would you like to get that time back and being focused on your priorities and what's important to you? I mean, I mean, good old Lord's going to take us one day. Are you living the ideal life you want to be living? Are you fulfilled and happy and being around people who respect you and encourage you? No. Would you like more of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Learning to prioritize. Yes.
right.
Calendar. I put everything on my calendar. I have one that I put on my refrigerator that I write everything down, and then I have one on my phone because time is one of the biggest assets I don't think that we realize that we take for granted.
Right. We can't use any, and people might work for money, but you can never pay for, you can't use the money to get the time back. And my
Exactly.
everything for right now is being said. If you hear something, you like it, take it. Because if I keep waiting and I keep waiting and I keep waiting, what kind of people do I attract in my life? People that wait. So a leader leads. So I'm sure you've heard the phrase before, as many people would. You can't lead the horse to water and make it drink, right? So you know who's going to be the horse and drink the water? I am.
Yeah, it has to start with you.
Has to start with me.
Mhm.
I am the change I wish to see in the world. So I am going to kick my own butt. Somebody else is kicking it until they don't want to kick it anymore. But that's what a leader does and say, okay, I get it. I will start leading and taking initiative from here. And that's the whole point. Somebody has to take a, a good leader follows good leaders and vice versa. So I appreciate myself being around great people. I surround who are followers and leaders of people who are supporting each other for, win-win outcomes and making this world a better place,
What are
starting with
some tools and
ourselves.
techniques that you would suggest anyone who's looking to make that leap into a leadership position? What are some tools and techniques?
I'll first say find people, find a
Say that
human
again.
being, find a
I
human
didn't.
being because I'll say going to the gym is nice, but having a teacher teach us. I mean, we all went to school 5 days a week, but
Yeah.
having other people guide us accelerates our growth faster than us doing it by ourselves. So
Okay.
be curious enough and finding other people, that feel like they're a good fit for you or you want to interview or you're curious to learn more and maybe
Mhm.
follow them for a day and be around them and, seeing what they're offering. Because I mean, at the end of the day, people, you can't play basketball or reading a book. You do have to get in the court.
Right.
Then you got to get a ball. And it'd be kind of nice to kind of pass it to a couple of people.
Right. That's true. You find a
Get
new
out there.
network.
Get out there. Meet people. Get in the playground like we used to do as kids. Get out there, network. I mean, the best thing I can suggest is get out and network, go to a networking event. I think hanging around business, you know, events are much more effective than maybe social because sometimes social, nothing right or wrong, but I'm just saying preferred because if I'm with hanging around
Yeah.
business people, there is opportunities that maybe I will say never even heard of. The world's growing and people are creating new things all the time, but you don't ever know who knows somebody that could lead to I would never know what I do right now if it wasn't for me and my coach. I had no idea. I knew we all have a purpose, but I didn't know what my purpose was.
Yeah.
You
Hope it's
know,
fine with you. Yeah.
of course, but I grabbed it. I grabbed the human that offered it to me.
It's another characteristic of a good leader. When you see opportunity, you take it. Exactly. There you go.
Well, it's kind of like a basketball. The ball's coming at us, but there's other people that can grab it. But the question is, how soon you grab is the one who's going to win the game. But where we don't take that opportunity because of a negative attitude. So my goal is, attitude plus behavior plus action gets results. So I have a very optimistic attitude.
Yes.
Right. So I'm open to all of it. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
open to learning and growing, then we can work together. But if you're shut down and closed off and think you're good where you're at, that's okay too. I mean, we're
Yes
still
or no that
open. Comes out of their mouth. That's how I know they're an ideal client.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If anybody
Yeah.
said no, then I guess there's no reason to keep moving forward.
Right, right, right. Because you don't want, I want to be welcomed because I'm trying to help you. I don't want to step into an environment where I gotta force you, you know what I mean, to see something in yourself.
Well, that's the point. It's all everything starts with me because I have no attachment. I've got it. Question is, do you want to learn it?
Yeah.
Do you want to grow your business? Do you think this might be of value to you? Would you make an investment in yourself to do so? Now, I'd say it's kind of like dating. I could be
Yeah.
in a singles event, but the first man who asks me doesn't mean he's the nicest guy and the cutest guy, but at least he's walking up to me and talking to me.
Right.
But the cute guy, the nice guy that I have a connection with, if he doesn't invite me out, even to the next step, even on a dating app, but they don't even invite you to do something, it's like I delete them. Like you're wasting our time. Like you're not
Yeah.
taking initiative. You're not leading.
Taking initiative. Yeah.
Right. If you don't take it, somebody else will get it. Well, there you go. Lost opportunity.
So, okay, so you shared the audience about where they can find your program, how to get in contact with you.
Yeah, they can actually get in touch with me on my website at greatpartnershipsolutions.com. That's great partnership, no S, solutions with an S.com. I also have a YouTube channel that has over 115 short motivational videos, plus a video in each of my workshops, my events as well. At my first name, last name, so Karrie Klimas, GPS. That's KarrieKlimas, GPS. And feel free to get some motivation and ideas for business and life
Mhm.
skills. And again, most of the videos under 4 minutes, so I shouldn't really bore you. Pass on to a friend. Check it out. If you want to email me, it's my Karrie, Karrie at greatpartnershipsolutions.com as well. So I look forward to connecting. Love to support people hearing about their goals. What is it they'd like to achieve and find out for a great fit. And if they're ready to get started, we'll make that happen.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Now, before I let everybody go, I always have my own personal thing because I love to hear people's motivations. So, could you share with the audience a message, a motivational message to them that will help inspire them to believe in their infinite possibilities?
Sure. Well, as a human being, we're all capable of anything. We are good at certain skills that come natural to us. So I certainly ask you to ask people what you're good at and then take the initiative to find people that can surround you to making that become a reality. But we are here to make the change we wish to see in the world. So if you're ready to be the change you wish to see in the world, then today's a good day to get started. So no better time like the present to make things happen. Because today's a new day. You can have said no to something, and next 5 seconds, you can say yes. So make sure that anytime where you say no, just ask yourself why, and then be open to it. When's the last time you tried something? You're like, oh, I hate this. I don't like it. And then you tried it going, yeah, well, how'd that judgment work that you really didn't even know much about? So stay open, stay persistent, and connect with people who are going to help you grow.
Mentorship. I always talk about mentorship, mentorship, yeah, and establishing a supporting network. So, with that, thank you, Karrie. I really appreciate you being here today. I'm going to let you go the right way, but everyone else, we will see you next episode. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.